is Saturday, and I am on my second day of a refeed. So I thought, why not do a full day of eating, show you what I'm having. I'm on 4,200 calories, up from 3,200. A good jump. But yeah, I thought I'd bring you along, show you what I'm eating in a day, and talk a bit of shit. I want to soak this bad boy up. Get as much egg in there as possible. Get a fork, stab it. Not that it makes a massive difference, but in my head, this works the same way you'd like stab a chook to get the marinade in. That's my idea. And then pretty simple stuff. Bit of oil, because we don't want to lose it. Don't want to lose our egg whites. Look at that, nice and soggy. That's what you want. Chuck that bad boy on. Yeah, I'm just going to have this to get me through. Then I'm going to have my go train. And I'm actually going to be having my breakfast probably closer to 12 o'clock. Which is pretty good. Push my meal timing out a bit. But yeah. And then this excess egg, obviously not going to go to waste. It just goes straight on there. And then these are going to get 15 grams of almond butter and 15 grams of honey. So I like to do half and half. It is probably, I've never had peanut butter jelly, but I could imagine it being better than this. And this should get us to 30. And then that's us. That's 28. I'm getting lean as. So that is brekkie. So I'll give you the macros real quick. Also, Gabby made me a long black. Absolute lifesaver. Our coffee machine makes the best coffees I've ever had. Like, hands down. Going anywhere, any beans, anything, this coffee machine, absolutely undefeated. Total calories, 460. Protein is 22 grams of protein. Carbs is 52. And 10 grams of fat. I'm gonna eat. Considering it's not breakfast, decent way to start the day. But I'll keep you posted. Next meal will be because I'm training earlier than usual, and I don't want to have my breakfast train, post. And then if I'm finished at like 1 o'clock, well, I've only got 2 meals to tie me over to the whole day. And that's gonna hurt. So yeah, if I time it, I've had my snack, I'm gonna take my to the gym, have there, train, come home for my post, and then all of a sudden, instead of having 2 meals for the whole afternoon, I've almost got 4 meals from 12 o'clock onwards, which is way better. Alright, so we've made it to 9:35, so I've got to get cracking to get to the gym. Making my got these sample packets, Stimulate Hardcore. Man, these taste so good. I had the banana and raspberry. Fucking open, you dog. Oh, fucking shit me. Yeah, I had the banana and raspberry yesterday. Wow. That was incredible. Anyway, that, salt, scoop of creatine. Poor. This shit's gone up my nose. And also, Evogen pump. This is going to be a bloody good session, I'm telling you. Oh. Alright. I'm going to make my whey drip for my oats. Bam! Red velvet. This is by far my favorite protein flavor I've ever had. Like, hands down, man. It is absolutely bonkers. 40 grams of that. I'll mix that up. Anyway, that's a sneak peek at the next meal. See you in the car. We live? We're live. Alright, let's get crack-a-lackin', because I've got to be at the gym at 10 o'clock and it's 9:54. So, cutting it a bit close, not gonna lie. I'm not making it. I'll be a little bit late. And I can't really see to the right of me at all, because this is blocking the sun. But oh well. I just had a conversation with me mum, and I thought it'd be a good conversation to elaborate on and kind of deep dive in a YouTube video. And that's the concept of if it fits your calories, which is, you know, depending on your goals, I guess it could make sense. But if we're defining it, like legitimately, if it fits your calories has been bastardized. Like, it's not what it was. Its original concept, the original kind of point behind if it fits your calories was more so like an equivalent swap. So if you've got, you know, let's say chicken and rice, you know, standard meal. If you've got chicken and rice, if it fits your macros, would be something like, oh, I've had chicken for the past 6 months. I wouldn't mind swapping it out for another protein source that's equivalent. What the fuck is going on with this fucking camera? There we go. Another protein source that's equivalent, like, you know, chicken, swap it out for turkey, or swap it out for prawns. I've done that before. That is the original if it fits your macros. Not like, you know, I want a bag of Sour Patch Kids, so I'm going to use up all my fats and carbs for the day, and then I'm just going to live off like mints, like 2% mints for the rest of the day. That's not if it fits your macros. That's fucking stupid. It's there as a tool so that, you know, you have a little bit of variety, but even then, like, you want to be tracking, you want to be accurate. If you want to make real progress, more so than other people are going to make, it's those little 1% things, like staying on track. And if that is going to help you stay on track, then by all means. The original concept of if it fits your macros, not this new, you know, iteration where it's like, yeah, if I can make it work, I can make it fit. It'd be like me now in prep, when I'm on 2,900 calories, I could probably make most things work, and then I'm going to starve myself and feel like shit for the rest of the day. Not to mention, it's going to ruin my digestion, which is so crucial. Like, there's so much more to it than just making it work to fit a certain set of numbers. Like, it has to be a genuine swap for a genuine reason. Even like the other day when I swapped chicken for tuna, like, I was strapped. I had no other choice. I didn't have time to go to the shops, and I didn't want to not eat. So it fit my macros to have 240 grams of tuna instead of my 250 chicken. and that's just that. That's if it fits your macros, and that makes sense. And I think it's detrimental to a lot of people who are trying to make like crappy food fit their diet. You know, I do see a lot of people who are successful and, you know, they're not very rigid about their diet. People who are having really crappy food, and, you know, as long as they're getting their protein and carbs and fats, whatever, like, it doesn't matter where it comes from. But there's definitely different grades and different levels to each macronutrient. Like, you can't tell me that the fats from a block of chocolate are equivalent to the fats from an avocado or olive oil or some nuts. Like, it's just not. Like, everyone knows it. Everyone's just making excuses to eat shit and feel like they're still getting ahead. And, you know, like, some people, they need like a little snack, something sweet, but you can still get something sweet that's still a whole food or pretty close to it, something that's decent. And if it's consistent, then you're getting rid of the variables anyway, because you know that it digests well. Gabby's calling me. We'll come back to this. So where were we? Like, again, I don't think it's ridiculous for everybody. Like, I think if you're just a general lifestyle kind of person, like, you're not a bodybuilder, you're not competing in a high level of sport, and your intake, like where it comes from, you don't really care. You're just trying to be healthy, you're just generally trying to lose weight. Like, you don't care if it's fat or muscle or what. Like, if you're just trying to drop numbers on a scale, or you're just trying to gain numbers on a scale, then it'll work, like calories in, calories out kind of thing. But if you're genuinely trying to be like a competitive bodybuilder, which I am, then these things matter, and it's going to affect your body composition, and it's going to affect your energy levels, and that's going to affect your sleep and everything. And with bodybuilding, like, everything is so tied into it. Your entire life is tied into it. Your whole day, how it's planned out, everything surrounds bodybuilding. Every decision you make has to be made surrounding bodybuilding if you want to be good at this sport. And even then, you can do everything right and still be shit. So why risk doing something half-assed when it takes so much? But that's just my little spiel on the topic. Yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world, but I think you have to make sure it's aligning with your goals and you're not making excuses, because at the end of the day, you're only taxing yourself. It doesn't really matter. I know I sound like I'm pressed on the issue, I'm really not, but it is annoying that people argue that point. It's like, yes, but there's nuance to it. There's more than just A to B. It's not just a matter of yes, it works, no, it doesn't. There's different cases, and it might work for some people, it might not work for other people. It's that simple. Some people work great with a lot of freedom like that. Unfortunately, bodybuilding doesn't work like that. If I was, say, running marathons, I think it would probably work, because you can just save a shit ton of carbs, and it doesn't matter where the fuck those carbs come from, as long as they digest quickly and you can keep running. Sure, doesn't matter. But if you're fueling a hypertrophy session, that's a completely different story. And I think you have to take that into consideration. But I think if you're doing bodybuilding, if you're going down that avenue, I think you know within yourself if it's the right choice. And 99% of the time it's not. Anyway, that's that. I'm done. I'm over talking about it. I feel like I'm rambling, saying the same shit. But yeah. Alright, meal 2. Oats.
Oh! My scaps and my back is super tight. now we're doing, what do you call this exercise? Some rear delt shrug vibe. Smith machine reverse shrugs. Behind the back. So we got a few names here, but it's a good exercise. So for the boys too, let's go. Wrong shoes. Wrong shoes. Oh.
So meal number, what's this going to be? 3 is oats, 90 grams, protein, and some honey. So very similar macros to the last one. It is going to be 67 grams of carbs, 36 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 500 calories pretty much. So meal number 4, this is a snack for today because it's high carb day. I don't usually get this, but this is just 2 slices of sultana toast, 2 whole eggs, 15 grams of honey, and some chili flakes. And that's it. I don't have my phone on me, I'll grab them for the macros. So we've got 377 calories, 48 carbs, 19 protein, 12 fats. So this will be meal number 4, and then I'll have another snack-ish meal, lunch, dinner, and that's us for the day. But yeah, I'm gonna hook into this. This one's like a half a meal. It's 80 grams of Nutrigrains, but I've halved it, so I've got 40 in here with my leftover protein from lunch. So what's that? That'll give us 156 calories in that. Sweet. So on to meal number 5, I think, lunch. We've got that chicken and rice with tomatoes. This is 750 calories, 105 carbs, 71 protein, and 4 grams of fat. So I'm going to hook into this because I'm starving. It's currently 5:20 and this is my lunch. So yeah, I'm going to smash this and then I'll see you either at dinner or snack. Alright, so this is the other half of my Nutrigrain meal. 40 grams of Nutrigrains, 50 grams of berries, and then in here is 50 grams of berries and 115 banana. And pour this on. Oh, let me show you. And it's like an acai bowl. How good is that? So total macros for that one is pretty much 200 calories, and it's going to be more or less all carbs because this is part of the other meal. But yeah, I'm going to hook in and I'll see you at dinner. Final meal. We've got mince and rice, bit of chili flakes, fuck me, and little, it's not really a coleslaw, is it? But it's lettuce, capsicum, and a bit of pickled onion. But this will be me for the day. And yeah, I'll have a tea before bed, just so I'm not going to bed with a completely empty stomach, and that helps me get cozy. And then I go to bed, and I won't be eating until tomorrow morning. But that's it, that's my day of eating. I think it's around 4,200 calories for today as a refeed. But yeah, I'll do one later on in prep when I've got stupid low calories and there's like 4 meals. Anyway, catch ya.